What would you say is the minimum time for someone to be prepared for that type of state of emergency?
Well, with food, I think a good basis is 6 months, dehydrated, freeze-dried, canned goods that you like, but you have to rotate them. And if you have the money to do more, then you do more. A water filter, and there's lots of good ones out there for that kind of an emergency. And, of course, you mentioned weapons and plenty of clips and ammo. And then if you have extra money, you would buy gold and silver coins. And if you have more money than that, you might buy gold and silver shares as well. And I don't know anything other than that to do.
What do you think about the time frame that this person mentioned as far as seeing something going on at the end of this year? Do you see something coming close to the end of this year as far as the collapse? Or
it's really hard to say because, you know, as much as you study it, you don't know what these people are up to behind the scenes.
Right,
All
right.
you can
Everybody
do is
wants to put a date.
back into what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And I do it very successfully. I think it's going to be a very difficult year for the last 6 months of the year because stimulus is going to end and the Fed is pulling money out of the system. Now, if they continue to do that, we will degenerate during next year and we will have inflation and maybe hyperinflation, and then all of a sudden you're going to have perhaps the FDIC go out of business, perhaps a realignment of currencies, devaluations, defaults, and those events could bring on what you're talking about. Other events could as well. As I said earlier in the program, there's 19 substantial countries that are either close to or in bankruptcy. Right. And it's got to come to the surface sooner or later. But as far as putting time limits on it, it's very difficult. But I will say this, that unless they have more stimulus by the election or the Fed loosens up again, the economy and the world economy is going down the chute.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Now, when the economy does collapse, I think it's inevitable. I think it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. Do you see them replacing the dollar, or do you see them just completely starting over from scratch somewhere?
Oh, I think they'll have a new dollar, and they'll call in the old dollar, and every other country will do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because they'll all want to devalue together because they won't want to give each other an advantage in trade, and that's what they've been doing for years, which has been terrible for the United States.
Yeah, agreed. Thank you very much. I appreciate your input. I look forward to your next appearance on the show here.
Well, thank you. I'll be back in about a month.
Wonderful.
That
Good
sounds
night.
perfect. Thanks for calling in, Unituber. Well, anything else before you ride off into the sunset, Bob? I know we kept you for about an hour and 5, I think.
Well, that's okay, and just don't forget to tell me when I'm on next. I get so many programs I can't keep track of them.
Hey, I'm just thankful you've been with us almost a year now.
I hate to turn people down, so I overload myself. What did you say?
No, I'm just thankful that you've been with us almost a year now, just coming in once a month.
Well, time flies, as they say in Latin, in tempus fugit.
Right. Well, Mr. Chapman, until next time, on behalf of everybody listening to the show here tonight, I want to thank you for joining us.
You're welcome, and I want to thank everybody for listening.